The Accident Reports, Karatara Drama, and Political Shifts.
My name's Bomber Webb,
And I'm Chris.
and you're about to listen to This Fortnight in Sedgefield. Good.
There's something I wanted to speak to you about.
What's that?
We were having dinner the other night. I think this was probably a week or two ago. Oh, because we missed the podcast last week.
Oh, well, that's what I thought we should start with
Yeah,
that because
that's
you
right.
had man flu.
Oof. It feels a little bit early to talk about it even.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A bit
You must
soon.
still
I'm
be
still
in
coming
shock.
out. Yeah. No, everyone is.
everyone knows it's much worse than girl flu.
It's true. Yeah,
It
yeah.
is, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, it's much worse than childbirth. But don't
right.
tell anyone.
Yeah,
that
and I've seen when you have girl flu, it doesn't affect you nearly as bad.
No.
As when man flu does. Yeah.
No.
Oh, we missed. I think this is our 60th or 61st episode. It's the first one that we've missed a week.
Yeah, but you're feeling better now, aren't you?
I am here.
You're
yes.
sounding better.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
that's
As long as I'm sounding better, then
Yeah.
we're all good. No, much better. There does seem to be a bunch of flu going around, though.
Yeah,
but that's not what I want to
absolutely.
talk about. We
Okay.
were having dinner the other night, and we turned our tomato sauce squeezy tub thing, and we were squeezing it. And
Okay.
in there, we noticed a Lego guy's head.
Ah.
And I just wondered, I'm just wondering if you know why?
Why?
I just feel like I should ask you why
Why there was a Lego
Why is there a Lego
man's head?
Yeah, in our
your
tomato sauce. I'm just wondering if you might know. I'm asking people.
No
and
idea.
You have no idea. So it definitely
no,
wasn't.
It definitely
you.
wasn't me that popped it in there.
Okay.
On a dark and stormy night
Okay.
2 months ago, while we were eating burgers at your table. No, I wouldn't do anything
Probably not.
like
Okay,
that.
I might
No,
have to
no.
put an advert out in the Edge.
I think you need to
for that. Yeah,
we
yeah.
need all the ads we can get. Well, here we go. We're at what did you say? Podcast number?
I don't know. I've got to look at the last one.
Okay.
I think it's 60 or 61, somewhere
61
around
or
there.
62
yeah.
or
But
60,
we've
yeah.
got to do a quick recap of the water
Yeah.
crisis and whether or not it is over. I feel like it is over.
It
Okay.
is over.
Okay.
Look, it's over, but there
Maybe it ain't
are
over
lots
till
of
it's
little
over.
things that keep going on, burst pipes and whatever. Remember, we're
Yeah.
dealing in Greater Neisner
Yeah.
with old infrastructure, hasn't really been kept up.
Yeah.
But the huge problems during the water crisis, which has happened while you've been kipping on your bed, feeling sorry for yourself,
And the
rest
couch.
of Neisner's been without water.
Yeah.
Sedgefield,
My goodness.
fortunately, didn't
Yeah.
suffer this.
We were supplied different.
The two main pumps. So, as I understand it, Charlesford Station, which is where the big pumps are.
Yeah,
they have
that name's
two
come up a lot
pumps
recently, yeah.
and another one on standby in case one of those two pumps fails, because they both got to run.
Yeah.
And they're huge. They pump at 190 litres per second.
Yes, I saw that stat on the front page.
190 litres per
I did a double check.
second.
Yeah.
That's, if I could drink beer that quick, I would be dead.
Die instantly.
So they were both failed, and obviously the third one was failed. So it was they had to. There was an amazing coming together. Okay, the municipality formed this JOC,
the joint operation
control center,
Bunch
whatever.
of jocks, yeah.
Yeah, but what was really amazing? Okay, we people working together, which is great.
Yeah.
And we know that it's the job of the municipality, and
Absolutely.
we know that there is some blame on the a lot of blame
Yes, a
on
lot.
whichever
But
municipality.
that doesn't help when people need to drink water.
It doesn't help.
Yeah.
They work together and
Linking arms.
linking arms,
Skipping
they
down the
fought
road.
good fight on the
Yay.
beach. Well, not on the beaches. But a Neisner Infrastructure Group,
KIG. Yeah. KIG.
They stepped in and to help. They work with the municipality. We've said it many times.
They're
before.
amazing.
They are
phenomenal.
amazing.
Yeah.
But I've chatted to them today, actually, and they say the crisis is over. The pump stations are working.
Good, for now.
One or two leaks here and there, which are just normal infrastructure things. But for the most part, the infrastructure is back up and running well.
Okay, that's a relief
and
for,
as I
for
said,
the people.
over a weekend they had to drive pumps down. That's right.
Oh, really?
The drivers driving non-stop through the night with these pumps. Another guy comes in from PE to make sure the installation's done properly.
That sounds expensive.
Expensive, but amazing that everyone put the work in.
Yeah.
But what they did mention today
Yeah.
was that the Nice Infrastructure Group has put out an appeal. Well, they did ages ago.
They're very
for
appealing.
Funds.
Yeah.
They're very appealing for funds to help.
Yeah.
Because quite often there's weird things like a supplier cannot do the work because he hasn't been paid for previous
the
work.
previous. Yes,
So they
that's
have
the one
to
that I
find
remember.
a new supplier or pay the old supplier or something. They had
Yeah.
to. This is not. It's not that they haven't been paid by Neisner Infrastructure Group. It's a municipal thing.
municipal one, yeah.
But the Neisner Infrastructure Group have raised funds, and this disaster
Yeah.
cost them 250,000 rand. Now,
quarter of a million.
Aside from
Whoa.
time.
Yes. Wow. That's true.
'cause
That's
lots
very true.
of people
Yeah.
putting their expertise in time.
Wow.
And they said they have 602 people
Wow.
making donations.
I mean, that's awesome.
And
That's
they
inspiring.
really wanted to put a call
Golly.
out to say thank you to those 602 members of the public, or maybe some of them are businesses, I don't know, who are so invested in getting Neisner's infrastructure back up and running. They don't want to play party politics.
No.
They don't want to point fingers.
Just get it done,
They
yeah.
just want to get it done.
This
And
is
they
our
did.
place.
So they wanted a big shout out to that. And
So we'll
without
shout
their
it, yeah.
input, Neisner would still be without water.
Oh, that is absolutely wild
Yeah,
to think
really,
of.
really good.
Hey,
really
let's shift gears, and I don't use that pun intentionally. But we've got to speak about the accidents. Everyone is speaking about it. There was the big accidents. A heartbreaking one. We don't have too much to say other than acknowledging it, other than sending our prayers. But
just a quick thing on what happened.
Yeah.
I've chatted with her dad. He's seen footage. There was footage of the accident. So that there was 3 girls involved who got injured.
Who were in the car?
In a car.
Yeah.
The 2 had minor injuries, but the one whose father I spoke to, Emma Grace Snyman, she is in the Red Cross Hospital now.
In Cape Town.
We don't know if there's brain injury. There was head injury.
Yeah.
Head trauma.
Yeah.
So they've got her in a medically induced coma.
That's it. And so that swelling can reduce and they can see what's going on.
So we don't know yet.
But she's in very good hands.
Lots of people praying for her. Lots of people come together.
I've seen a lot of messages for the Backer Buddy.
Backer Buddy,
There's a link. We're going to put it in the description below
people
as
coming
well.
Forward. They're trying to raise. They've estimated, this is family, friends, and what have you.
Yeah.
The costs not only of her treatment. I don't know what the costs of that are.
Yeah.
But for the family, the parents who've had to stop work.
Absolutely, yeah.
the
It's everything gets
transport,
put on
the
a hold.
accommodation
Except
for
expenses.
them to be there. They're trying to raise 300,000.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, that's a huge target. Then I went onto the Backer Buddy and I saw, I think it was 154,000 or 145. I only quickly glanced as we were leaving to come here.
Wow.
Already raised.
Oh, the community cares, man.
That's
geez,
just it. Yeah, it's heart.
I need a moment.
It's heart wrenching and heart.
Warming.
Warming.
Oh, all
Warming
of these.
was the word.
It's such a combination. That's sure.
So please look up. There's lots. You'll put a link on the thing you say.
Yeah, I'll put a link there and I'll have a close
look.
look. I haven't even looked at it. I mean, it's still fresh. I think the Backer Buddy started yesterday.
I think it was yesterday,
even. And the community has just responded just so well. I love this town.
But
I love this area. Thank you.
The cause of the accident, quickly, I want to say, just to sort of...
Yeah, this is actually important to say, I think.
Are careful on that stretch of road.
Please,
So going along the N2 on the George side of Sedgefield, that right turning off to the horsey
Outward bound
places,
and the horsey
outward
place.
bound.
You get up to Cloud 9 from there. Yeah, that road.
The back end of Cloud 9. So the car with the girls in was parked there waiting to turn right.
Okay.
Visibility was down because it was
raining.
smattering with rain. It was Monday. Visibility was down. A large truck was on the left in the yellow line so that people could overtake. Somebody went past the truck and obviously it was a bakkie, accelerated, didn't see the car.
Yeah.
stopped there waiting to turn,
That's it,
plowed it into oncoming traffic. And
it's a combination of
what a
terrible
nightmare.
factors, but what we've
What
got
an
is a
absolute
community
nightmare.
around.
Yeah. But
just
please be careful out there. It's really, really hectic on the roads.
take it slow. It's really our lanes, our highways do split into twos. There are overtakey places.
Yes,
Just make sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
And as my grandmother used to say, he won't get there any quicker. You overtake someone, you save yourself 30 seconds maybe.
Maybe it's not a good hobby, but a little bit of a hobby where you're sort of driving into town, maybe from George side especially, and then there's somebody who's just like vipping it, like going like really wild, and then they're stuck behind you and getting a little bit cross, and you just stick to the speed limit and you keep going, but they eventually get around you and they're all that, and they get stopped at the one traffic light for like 50 kilometers anyway. So let's just calm down a little bit, I think there.
Just take it easy,
Karatara, you've got this story about, and it's fascinating. And I think you've got the kind of start of it, so it's going to be really interesting to see if there is more that comes from this.
I've just got the basic details. So there's a petition started in Karatara.
Yeah.
There's an ERF.
ERF?
ERF. 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 In
Just
Karatara.
a stand, a bit of land.
Yeah. But it's got a shop on it.
Okay.
And the same family, it's like a general dealer shop.
A dealer?
No, not drugs.
Oh, okay.
No, that's the other shop.
Next door.
No, it's
Karatara.
It's a
just a shop,
a general
grocery
shop,
mini market.
Small,
Spaza.
and it's been run by the same family for a long time. And the community loves it. And one of the community members was saying to me, if we need a parcel delivered and we're not at home, we say, drop it off at the shop.
Okay, one of those.
He'll keep it for us.
Yeah.
Just a real part of the community shop. So it's on municipal property.
Oh, that makes it complex. Already.
And then it was up. This municipal property, as well as others in Knysna,
I saw an advert at one point,
and Buffalo Bay, were up for auction. Now, I don't know the background of why they were up for auction. I don't know.
Well, we've got a municipality that needs money.
So maybe it's unused.
Got some unused assets, and you do hear in their meetings that they're like, well, what are we doing with this? Do we go visit it? This person wants to buy it. What should we do? So I would think it's that. Again, I don't know, but
So apparently what happened was the auction was held and this family didn't get it. I think somebody else...
so they were vying for it out so they could own it.
So that they could... this is
That's
what
weird.
I'm hearing from the community. I've got to get it verified. But anyway... the community were kind of up in arms because they felt this family deserved to get it. I don't know what the bids were. Don't know what the process is.
That's not important. Yeah.
They called for a meeting with the Councillor Cleone.
Yes.
Vanston.
Ward 2 councillor.
Karatara is part of Ward 2.
Which is interesting, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, but what she has reported to them, and there's a council meeting this Friday.
Okay.
She said that even once the municipal land has been auctioned, it goes back to council, and then council make the final decision.
So it's got to actually be like approved.
It's got to be approved.
Okay.
So let's say they bid $1 million or whatever.
I think I think anyone would take that.
The council then says, is this worthwhile selling it? And they make the decision one way or that. That's what we were told.
Okay.
But I went quickly into the agenda for this Friday's meeting.
Okay.
And the agenda says on page 128.
Oh, it's a long agenda.
Yes. Agenda reveal. This is agenda reveal. That ERF 150, as well as two other ERFs, it was unanimously recommended by the Finance and Governments Committee that these properties, ERF 150 in Karatara, ERF 3534 in Knysna, and ERF 535 in Rhiannondale.
That's 3 out of
3 properties be removed from the auction list.
Oh, okay. So they are pushing for it. So you've got the Finance and Governance Committee and you've got the Ward 2 councillor saying, okay, let's remove it. Let's not auction it because of this.
I'm going to investigate it
further. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it tomorrow.
That they are then saying, okay, let's not sell this. Possibly because of the community's reaction.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
what was the cause? But we'll wait until. I'm not pushing any inquiries now until that that is resolved, because I don't want to cause any upheaval.
That's
so
right,
we'll find out after they have the meeting if that resolution took place. And
I'm sure it'll be in the next edition of The Edge coming out next week, which is always very good. Looking forward to that.
While we're on council resolutions,
that's what I was going to say. We've got there's more stuff, and I've seen at least one headline saying that the current speaker from the municipality is out, but that's actually inaccurate.
Well, yeah, he's not out yet.
Right.
He should be out.
Should be.
Okay,
that's the important word.
For a quick recap, rewind a few months. Mayor Tsengwa.
Yes.
And Deputy Mayor Alberto
when he was still
Marby.
mayor. Oh man, a lot of things have changed.
Yes. So both of those people will remember that those two and the speaker, Nsidisi Skosana, were found guilty of a number of things, but one of them in particular was
fashion sense.
No, not fashion
they weren't
sense.
found guilty. No, they're snappy dresses. But the real reason,
wearing a loud shirt in a built-up area. They were found guilty of perjury, basically lying in court.
That's it. Those
and the
were
recommendation was that they get given the boot. So
from province. Oh no, sorry. Those were the court's orders.
Yes, those are the court's orders.
Their recommendations and saying this is what should be done.
Yeah.
Fines as well.
Fines and that sort of So since then, before it actually happened, the mayor of the time,
then Mayor
Aubrey Tsengwa of the ANC, resigned. From his mayorship.
Well, no, it was the vote of no confidence, and then he stepped out.
Vote of no confidence, and then he stepped out from his
Ward 8 councillorship. Very surprisingly. Right. It was right at the end of the meeting.
And he kept saying, but that you haven't seen the last of me, and I will always think for the ANC. I have read since then that the ANC have said, we're not happy. They weren't very happy at all.
Incorrectly done, sir. You don't wear that shirt here. And
no.
They're not happy with him.
And then Deputy, I think he's PBI, the deputy of the time, Alberto Marby, also resigned. Went on to other places.
Yes, he was going to go into the Garden Route District.
I think so.
But I don't know if he has. I don't know
We don't know. But he's also resigned. So, but now on the what date was it? On the
something, I believe.
The something of something. A letter came through. I think it was Friday last week.
Yeah, it was very recently. Yeah,
it was very recently. Friday last week. A letter from the Western Cape government came. From the Minister Anton Bredell. I think he's the Minister of Corporate Governance. And he basically said, dudes, the Speaker
you missed
has
one.
to go. Hey?
you got two, but you missed one.
You missed one. He has to go. He should step down. Do something, people. So...
But he sent a bunch of those letters about a bunch of things.
Yes, So we don't know if it's going to happen. But I see
it
on the agenda for this Friday, there is, what do they call it? White papers.
Oh, where they go in committee.
They go in committee.
Where the public is excused. And they switch off the live stream.
Maybe that's when they're going to talk about it. The interesting thing is...
this one, this one's going to be...
very interesting.
You got to have a diagram for this one a little bit, but it's super cool when you hear, if this is how it's going to work out. I love hearing this. Let's go.
He is a ward councillor, as well as the Speaker. Ward 3. Okay. So if he goes, they can't automatically replace him from the same party.
It's got to be a by-election.
If he was a proportional representative councillor,
that's the word,
then they could just automatically represent
swap
which they
out.
Did with the deputy mayor.
Yes, because we had a bunch of new people, and it seems to be going well.
Because he's a ward councillor, they have to have a by-election. So that puts the DA coalition with Kim
Yes.
on a level footing with the ANC coalition.
Oh, because there's still an empty Ward 8 councillor seat, and then there would be an empty Ward
there
3.
is. So, in fact, the DA coalition would be
Would they be ahead? Would they? Because they wouldn't count votes from those 2 wards. So would it not be sort of cut down from that?
I think it would mean that if the coalition
this is fascinating.
of the ANC is less 2, because we're still
they would
waiting
be down
for
2, yes, because it's
they'll be
Speaker
down
and
2.
Sengwa, yeah.
The DA coalition was always 1 behind, so they will be 1 ahead.
This could be a shift.
It could be a shift.
This
but you see, I've heard the grapes. The grapes, not the grapes. The corridors.
The grapes have been speaking to you, man. We're in the Western Cape. The grapes speak to us.
That's it. I heard it through the grapevine.
Yes.
How much longer would you be mine? The grapevine has said that Mark Willemse, Kim councillor,
yes, okay,
and also ward councillor,
will
be nominated to be speaker.
Oh, I mean that's stepping up again because he was mayor at one point.
Yes, he
but
was.
Anyway, and I like it when he speaks honestly.
Yeah, he seems to be a good guy.
Yeah.
If his coalition, all the DA councillors and the 2 Kim councillors back him, he could be speaker.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yes, if he gets to be speaker, they would be able to then, well, even if he doesn't get speaker, they will have the majority. They can take over, get him as speaker, which gives him a deciding vote if there's a hung council. I don't think they should be hung. I think maybe slapped on the wrist.
No.
But also, it will give them the opportunity to take over council.
Yes, which would be
until the by-elections are held.
But this is where it gets interesting because we've sort of got the sense, and I don't think it's only us that's been saying it.
It's been talked about by a lot of people.
Okay, cool. Not just us. Who said, well, the DA is happy for the council to sort of almost run on fumes, and to be fully a party until the next election, so they can say, look how bad it is, rather than because people have a very short term memory when it comes to voting, and they've got that in mind. So do they want it?
That's it. Do they want it? Are they going to step up and take over now? And try and make as much difference as possible so that they get another term? Or do they want to let it go even more rack and ruin so that next year's local elections they can say, look what's happened when the DA wasn't in power. Now let's get a majority vote. That we don't have to rely on coalitions. So it's a very, very interesting political thing. I'm of the opinion, and most people I speak to are, that they should just get in there now and prove that they can make the difference that they've been talking about making for so many years. We don't know that they can or that they can't.
But this is the tricky thing, that if they did that now, could that mean it? Because a lot of this stuff is needs long-term fixing.
Yes,
And if you need to make a decision in the short term for the long term, wouldn't you do that? That's a tough decision to make. But is it the responsible one? Also seeing that... and this is getting, I mean, I'm playing an advocate of sorts.
Yes.
Over here, saying that, well, when we have a big fall apart, like there was a big fall apart with the water now.
Yeah, absolutely.
The community steps in and sorts it out, which is right and which is good. So the community is going to survive. The municipality is going to survive if they hold on and let. But that's it. Like, would it be up to them to let it if they are actually, their group is kind of running it and still doing it? Then would they be able to just let it run through, and wouldn't they just be shoved into the seat of the majority anyway? So I'm just thinking out loud.
It really is. Look, I'm inclined to believe, like a lot of people I speak to, that if you say you can make a difference, now we're not saying they can or can't. They're saying
they can.
They can.
Yeah.
Then now is the time. We've been through the crises. I think we've been through enough crisis.
Yeah, and there's still a stretch. We still got the Oyster Festival. We still got many more tourist seasons, and people, of course, just living day to day.
Yes, that's at the day-to-day
things happening.
If you say you can make a difference, now is the time. That's my thought.
That is.
Other people might say no, because by the time the elections happen, people are going to say, well, look at the infrastructure that's failed and the DA's in power now, or the DA coalition.
Exactly.
We need change. But I don't know. We've had 3 years. There's also the talk that is on about the infrastructure, that it didn't just fail in the last 4 years.
That's what I also wanted to say.
It's been failing. It hasn't been looked after by all the different
That's it. This won't be their first
councils
chance.
that we've had over the last probably 2 decades. Maintenance should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah, and we're seeing the fruits of that.
We can't lay the blame of that at anyone's feet. We do agree that there has been mismanagement in the last couple of years.
Everyone agrees on that.
Really feels like mismanagement. We've had the employment of the wrong people.
So many people.
We've had extra people employed.
So many unqualified people. Director roles that have been vacant for a very long time.
Lots of court cases that have cost the municipality a lot of money. So we have to agree that there has been mismanagement.
Agreed.
Whether the DA Kim coalition can step in and start making a difference in time,
because they've got a history as well.
Yep, they have.
With each other.
If they can make a difference in time to say to people,
look what we can do.
This would be my preference. Look what we've done in the year we've been since we took over.
And would be about a year, probably. I don't know when the elections are next year.
I don't think they've been called yet, but sometime next year.
Okay. I'm also really hoping
we'll leave that open, and we look forward to hearing from people what they think.
That's it. And as we close off and as we say goodbye, I would like to just read you something.
Okay.
The morning started off as cold as blue eyes that don't love you anymore, but soon developed into a beautiful day for the competition, which was better ball, stable forward. Did you enjoy that?
That's a beautiful quote.
Beautiful. I've got to be honest. I've never really read the Sage Gents Golf Club piece at the
on the back page of
the Age, and that was it. And I just kept reading. It's very fun.
It's beautiful.
I really enjoyed it.
We have to thank the bard that put that together.
The bard. Oh man, very very cool. Okay, but that does it for us for this week.
Excellent.
I'm going to be reading that. I'm looking forward to Edition Week and we'll put the.
We'll chat soon, and we'll try not to miss another one. It was very sad.
You're going to be going away to the UK in a few weeks, I believe.
I am indeed. Yeah.
So I've got a plan for that. We'll still be able to do it, I reckon.
Okay, excellent.
Let's see.
Excellent.
I'll just do my best bomber imitation.
Yes, okay.
Oh, where am I? Where am I?
I've taken a wrong turning and walked into a wall.
Oh. Okay, that does it for this week. Thanks for the chat.
Thank you.